In this video, I'll show you how to create a side pane and within that side pane, render a dashboard. Now, as you see on the right hand side over here, this is the area through which you can create a side pane, and within that side pane you can have multiple icons, and within that icon you can specify a dashboard, and then the dashboard can get rendered over here. Now this is important, like if you have a record set whereby you need to know the stats behind this records, and if you quickly want to refer to the dashboard, you can navigate to the side pane, and then bypassing the context or maybe just rendering some generic content for the dashboard, you can render those over here. Now, in order to create a dashboard, first what you need to do, go to the solution in which your application or the model driven app is, and then from there you can create a dashboard. Now, I'll just show you in brief how to create a dashboard, but I'm going to use the existing dashboard. So first you create a dashboard, new dashboard, and then specify whether you want two column overview, three, four, depending on your requirement. So if you have this two column overview, it will take you to the classic interface, and then from there you can create a dashboard. Now this dashboard can embed various content. It can embed the table, it can embed the web resource, it can embed the iframe. Now depending on whatever things you have, you can render those content accordingly. So here, as you see, I can insert a chart, I can insert list, I can insert assistant, iframe, and the web resource. So let me add a web resource over here. So if I add a web resource, I need to exactly specify what is the name of the web resource. Now I can create a new web resource over here, or maybe let me search over here, and I can search for whatever content I want. So if you want to go over here, go to look up more records and search for the web resource. So let me see the web resource which I have currently over here. So I have a couple of web resources which I've already created. So this one is airline content. So let me pick up airline content over here. Say airline, and I can select from multiple system view over here as well. So airline content, I think it's not able to find, but we can go ahead and create our new web resource. Now let me cancel this off and let me specify any other custom web resource we have. So I have this various svg files, I have this if I go to look up more records, I can see various content over here. Now I can pick up whatever I want. So let me pick up msdn some component, so dismiss.svg, and then here I can pass the custom parameter. I'll click on OK, and this will render that content. Now I can even insert a chart. So let me insert a chart over here. Now you should have a chart created beforehand. Now I've already created one chart, so I'll just pick up this chart by default over here. I can even add another web resource. So if I go over here, I'll click on search for web resource, and let me see if I have any other HTML web resource which I can use. So I have this. So if you need to search using the internal name, so if I just type in G Corp, which is like the internal name, I can see various content. Now I can see airline content over here. So I'll select G Corp underscore airline content, click on add, and then that will add that web resources within my dashboard. Now you'll see that preview in a while, but let me add that name of the dashboard. So this is the dashboard which we have created. I'll call it as June dashboard, and I'll click on save. Now what we have done, we have created a dashboard. Now I think looks like the selected file is corrupted. It might throw you these kind of errors randomly. So if this happens, just close and you go ahead and create your own dashboard again. So let me go here, two column overview. I will call this as June dashboard. I will add a chart. I will add a web content resource. So I'll click on save here, and once it is saved, let's go ahead and close this. So we are creating a new dashboard as you see over here. And then once you go into the dashboard, you should be able to see that dashboard listed. So as you see, the June dashboard is listed. Now, other thing what you can do, you can go into your model driven app just to see how the dashboard will appear. So go into the model driven app, edit the model driven app, and maybe just for reference purpose, add that as a pages. So I'll click on new dashboard and June dashboard, and click on add show in navigation. This will appear within the navigation, and you publish the content. Now, once this is published, I should be able to see one more dashboard over here. Now, why we have done all this thing? Just to get the dashboard ID, because from the authoring interface, you will not be able to extract the dashboard ID. The only way to get the dashboard ID is just when navigating through the dashboard. So let me do a hard refresh and show it to you that, oh, this is the dashboard will appear over here. So like I have this airline dash which I have already created, so it has that again, that same chart and some HTML content. Now it's still publishing, so that's why you are not able to see the dashboard. Now, how do you extract the dashboard ID? So dashboard ID is extracted by navigating to the dashboard and copying this content. So let me show you this one. So this is the dashboard ID, E501 something. Now, okay, let's start writing a JavaScript code to render the dashboard within a side pane. Now, in order to do that, what we will do, we'll make use of Visual Studio Code, and then in Visual Studio Code, uh, we'll be pasting the content from Visual Studio Code into the developer tools. Now, I think this is not getting rendered; it's still published. I'll just do an implication hard refresh. And once you do that, I think I need to publish this again. Let me publish this again. uh, I'll make use of this dashboard for time being just to show you in the code. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code, and then I will show you how to write the content. So this is the basic content which I've already created for my previous demo. So I'll get rid of all those things. I'll just say xrm dot app dot side panes dot create pane, and this is the piece of code which you are going to run. Now we need to pass the parameters. So here the parameters is what do you want the dashboard title to be. So I'll just call it as title as airlines dashboard. So we are creating a side pane, and then here I have this image source for that particular side pane to appear. So this is the web resource which I've already uploaded. Then we need to specify the pane ID, the user identifier. So I'll just call this 009. It can be any unique identifier. You can make any number. Whether do you want the dashboard to be closed, can close as true, or maybe you can put it as false. And what should be the width of the dashboard? Maybe I'll just call it as width as 500. Once you get this, you just pass in the pane. Now here I will pass the pane as a parameter, and then from here I'll use an arrow operator to then specify. So this is important now. Pane dot navigate, and you need to specify what is the parameter we are going to pass. So pane dot navigate here will say what is the page type. So the page type is of type dashboard, and the dashboard ID. So the dashboard ID is the ID which we want for the dashboard to get rendered. That will also come in double quotes. Now, in order to get the dashboard ID, let's go into the model driven app, and within the model driven app, I will be able to see the dashboard ID. So I'll make use of this dashboard. So let me copy this dashboard ID from here, copy this, and then go into the VS Code, paste the content, and all good. So this looks good to me. I'll just go and format the document, Control X, and I think there is something wrong. with the syntax. So xrm app dot site pane. So I think we are closing this part over here. Dot then pane, opening braces, curly braces, and do we need this? So I think we need one curly brace, which was missing. So xrm.app.sitepanes.createPane. Then you complete this dot then pane arrow operator curly brace pane dot navigate page type colon dashboard ID. Oh, this is a mistake. Yep. So it looks all good. I'll copy this and come here in the developer tool. So if you don't know how to go to the developer tool, navigate to say Microsoft Edge, and then click on three dots, more tools, developer tools, and then from here, just paste the code. So what should happen once you execute this code? An icon should appear over here, which points to this web resource file, and then you should be able to see the page type dashboard as a content within that particular site pane. So I'll just press enter, and as you see over here, this has appeared easily. So I'll just close this now. I can close the site pane, but two options. One is you can close the site pane, but if you closes it, then this will disappear, or you can just minimize. So I'm just minimizing the site pane. Now if I maximize the site pane, I should be able to see the entire dashboard content. Now the dashboard is comprises of chart, it comprises of the html content. Now you can create as many dashboard as you want. Like as you see over here, I've created this June dashboard, but sometimes it takes a while to publish this dashboard. Now this has published the content, and it is the same dashboard which was there for airline dash. As you see over here, this is that same dashboard, and I can go ahead and uh, publish the content, and then that dashboard should appear over here. Now with the model driven app over here, we can have multiple dashboards. So if you have 5 or 6 dashboard, you can go ahead and uh, uh, create that side pane. Now need not be all the type of dashboard, so you can have multiple side panes. One will be dashboard, one will be custom page, one will be web resource, one will be entity record, one will be the entity list. So it can be anything, so you can go ahead, the possibilities is endless. You can create all those allied information. So why it is important is because once you go ahead and give it to your users to type in some information or add those data record, user may need to refer to some content before they make a decision, or it will aid them in updating the record within a model driven app. So that's it, folks. This is how you basically create a site pane rendering a dashboard in a model driven app. Thanks for watching.